The family that plays together stays together. But in an era of smartphones, text messaging, internet, and yes, even couch potatoes, it gets harder and harder to accomplish this. So it's reassuring to know that there are still outdoor activities which exist that moms, dads, and kids can do together, activities which bond and unite, giving strength to the fabric that is family. Here to discuss what Remington Arms Company is doing to help bring families together is Haley Heath. You might know Haley from her role as co-host of cable TV's The Outfitters and Yeti's Ultimate Hunt, airing on the Sportsman Channel. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank
Welcome
you so
back.
much for having me again.
You know, I talk about going outside with kids, very important for me to do. I can't stand the text message. I'm so
Me
against
either.
it. I'm not part of this time. So for me, being outdoors is really important. I know for you too, and you actually do different things with your children.
I do. You know, we live on a farm, so it makes it a little bit easier, but I love going out and shooting with the children, whether, we're shooting just targets or if we decide to go hunting. Those are wonderful things that we enjoy that get us outside and just watching nature. Whether we do anything or get an animal or not, we're just spending quality time together.
And that's so important. And I know also very important, you've done a great job with your kids. How old are they?
They are 7 and 10.
7 and 10. You've done a great job in terms of not only protecting them, but explaining to them the safety behind using a gun. And we talked about it last time. Recap a little bit about the 10 commandments that you told me your kids know from 1 to 10 perfectly.
Of course. It's very important to go to Remington.com and really study these with your children before you ever allow them to touch a gun, before you ever touch a gun. Because it's very important to know how to handle it, what different ways that the safety measures are. You want to make sure you're familiar and they're familiar. So when you go out, you can really have a good time knowing everyone is safe and having fun together.
So when you started involving your children, what types of guns did you, I guess, introduce them to?
Well, I started them out with something like this, this is the Remington air rifle, and
Now you see it and it looks a bit intimidating. You're like, for a child, really?
Yes, it's the Remington Express air rifle, and now also the Marlin XT Youth, and it's a little smaller and more compact. It's a 22 rimfire. These guns are very easy to use, very maneuverable, great to learn. Parents can learn them very easy. Kids can learn them very easy. You don't just hand the child the gun, of course. You definitely want to have adult supervision. But it's something that's inexpensive, and so the family can get involved. And if you have, a couple of children that both want to get involved, you can get one or two, and it's not a very expensive, fun thing to do with your children and be out there together.
And I know for a fact that more girls are getting into the sport as well.
Definitely, and a lot of little girls. My daughter actually had a party this year where she had a station set up for kids to go learn to shoot. And so I was over there instructing each one of them, teaching them the 10 commandments of gun safety, and letting them shoot for the first time, putting on ear protection and eye protection, and actually shooting their first time. And we've had 3 girls out of that class since November already get their first air rifle.
Really? And so when, I guess you have this so-called party, or even if a child expresses interest, what are some of the concerns typically from parents to, getting this going?
A lot of times parents are concerned, oh my goodness, I'm not going to put a gun in my child's hands, and they're dangerous and they can hurt people, and you're teaching them the wrong things by putting a gun in their hand. But if that curiosity is kind of taken away when they learn about a gun, learn about the safety measures, and they actually make memories with you as their parent, that sets a whole nother world out there. They're not using it, for anger or upset.
Correct.
They're actually using it for fun and making memories with their parents, and that's so important. It's something we love to do. We like to get out there and shoot together and shoot the targets. We have some Remington targets set up, and we get out there and shoot, and we have competitions and see, which one's going to take out the trash for the week, or which one's going to wash dishes. So we do different fun things, but it's a time that, I put down my phone and put away the computer, and, I'm very hands-on. That's something you have to do when you're out there with them.
I was going to say, I don't think you ever leave them alone.
No. So it's Gunnar and Dakota, of course, doing what they love to do and what I grew up doing, and they're shooting.
And at the end of the day, it's not for everybody, but if you want to get involved, it can be a lot of fun and safe as long as you know.
10 Commandments of gun safety.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Haley. And if you'd like more information on today's segment, visit us at thebalancing.com or share with us how you'd like to spend quality time with your kids by logging on to Facebook /The Balancing Act Fans.